The date today is August 10th. I leave for boot camp tomorrow, so this is my last update for like 2 months, and it's gonna be fun to see what happens with my account while I'm gone. Um, that being said, I have my goals to go over for the first year investing. First goal was to reach an account value of $10,000, of which I beat in May, and then right now I'm sitting at just over 15 grand, so that's pretty nice. I made more money than I expected to, which is mainly what drove that, and also made more money than I expected. And then outperforming the Nasdaq. You can see over the year I had a performance, which this is actually up to 41 now, 41%, which is pretty good. My understanding of how this number works is that that means I would have netted 41%, assuming that I never added any funds to my account. I think that's what the performance is supposed to account for. My actual gain has been about 24% over the last year. We can see here that basically since mid-May, or I guess late May, I've been beating the market. I was beating it before tariffs hit, and really during tariffs is when I got screwed. Not this one. Here's the year today. I'm up 13.62, beating both the Nasdaq and the SPY, which is also surprising considering how bad my Q2 was. I think maybe it was image 5. Yeah. Here is the 3 months. You can see I've been killing it over the 3 month, of course. Interesting facts last year is that my two biggest gaining stocks, which have been HIMS and Hood, with about I think 1,300 and 1,200 each, account for 95% of the gains, and Palantir, or sorry, Meta with about $900 brings up to 129%, and Palantir and Microsoft after that. Percent profit 55.4 on HIMS, 20.4% on Hood, 19.3 on Meta. I couldn't calculate Palantir, and 13.6 on Microsoft. Palantir I bought and sold a few times during the year, so that's why it's hard to calculate. Three biggest profit trades as far as single positions are 87, 79%, 76%. Most all my games are mega caps, as you can see, HIMS, Hood, Meta, Palantir, Microsoft, of course. Most of my losses are just random small caps, stupid trading. Highs and lows, negative 35% early April. Just me doing stupid shit with buying on margin and tariffs. So it's not a good combination. And then about 30% late June, I doubled up on, or I guess doubled down and invested right back in with margin and made all that back, which was good for me, I guess, but not sustainable in the long run. Yeah, and had obviously a crazy run from late April to late June. On the SPY, you can see here that we've fallen below this trend line we had not broke above it, suggesting downside movement. Fibonacci retracement going from the bottom of this wick to the top of this wick. I was expecting us after this day to have a reversal and have a pullback, which I mean I guess we kind of did. Like a 3%, I think. 2.7, so not crazy. I was hoping we were gonna go down and test like 580 or 600, but sadly not. This would suggest downward movement, but this is a very strong recovery, so I think we're gonna be bullish for a little bit, and we're not even overvalued, surprisingly, at 62. I think we're bound to have, we're definitely in a bubble, and we're bound to have the bubble pop sometime in the next probably 2 years. But it seems like we're going to probably make it at least another 2 months before it does. As far as positions, Clover broken down from this wedge after earnings. I'm not really following that one too closely though. Serve I've bought in and had bad earnings, but I mean, it did fine anyway. And it's starting to look like it's going to break out of this wedge possibly. Oklo looks like it's coming down to retest. I think I have $69 set is my buy mark. Hoping for that bounce up to 100. Or sorry, no, I got rid of that order. Oscar looking great. Hoping we can come up and test these 20s. Earnings, it missed on earnings, but the outlook was good, so it went up anyway. I mean, crazy bullish candle on earnings. Hopefully this thing will start pumping. This one, I saw this coming down to test this area right here. I was like, I should probably buy, and I didn't, and then we went up almost 8% the next day. This is just a crazy thing though, because like, if you just go back up here, that's a 50% increase. If you go back all the way up here, 150. These growth stocks are just crazy. Hims, I love Hims. $52 is, I think that's a great price for Hims stock right now. Growth is great. Earnings just great. They're making money. I think this is just a stupid pullback, and I'm putting money into it, and hopefully that'll work out for me. I'm not gonna bother looking at Rivian. Archer is kind of just meme stock stuff. Same with Surfair. Zeta had a huge jump up in earnings and it kind of just doing nothing. I'm not really sure what I want to do. I already sold out. I'm kind of just not really doing much with it. It seems like it's just going to stay in this area for a little longer. Afi also had a big jump up in earnings, and I just took that as my opportunity to take my loss and get out because the stock, I didn't look at it originally, but financials are just not particularly great. I mean, like, they're growing revenue pretty slowly. Their gross profit, I mean, it's getting somewhat better, but not really. And they're just not really growing very much for a growth company, which is not a particularly great thing. Jovian Care, Lucid had bad earnings. They're bound to go bankrupt eventually. This is just like, yeah. Some had a good run. I didn't get in on it, unfortunately, but Jesus Christ. That's just insane. Yeah, I missed out on that one, unfortunately. One stock that I am buying this on here is ADMA, sorry. Have fell down on earnings, but their earnings are really good. Revenue is growing pretty good, or sorry, annual. Look at this revenue growth. Profit growth too. Assets are going up. Liabilities actually going down. Cash flow is pretty decent. And their PE right now is a 20. 0.88 EPS. These financials are amazing. For a biologics company, for that too is crazy. Plus, it's cheap on the chart right now too. This looks like a great buy to me. What else am I in? SoFi. We had this big run. Thinking the bull run's going to continue. Had some kind of just building some support. Never made a lower low. And we just keep going up. We're not even overvalued right now anymore either. See, that's Oscar, SoFi. Am I forgetting something? Let me look. Futures are up like over 1%, which is also a really good sign. Market's just been very strong overall. No, I went over everything that I have. I guess we go over QQQ. QQQ kind of just doing the same thing as SPY, but we are right at where this resistance would be. So if we can pass that up, that's going to be very, very good. We're not quite overvalued now, which is nice. Now you kind of need that pullback to sustain this longer. Not like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is up pretty high. I mean, overall, looks like it's fine to keep this going. I don't see any reason to think it's going to stop. So that's a good thing, I guess. And that's all I have.